Alrighty, let's go and start with the moon. And, well, there are a lot more, problems than the few that I mentioned before, mostly pertaining to the vacuum of space and whatnot. First problem being that, there's not a lot of air to breathe, so long as you consider no air at all to be a little. Also, that there's no protection from the whole mess of radiation that's in space. Not to mention, there's also constant meteors and asteroids that can cause havoc all over the surface. So that kind of rules out living on the surface. And if we can't live on the surface, then how do we live on the moon? Well, you might be thinking, well, if we have a biosphere. And well, not a bad idea. It could have plants that give us energy and food and oxygen. So, and while a stable environment would also be included with this, all those problems are solved, but we still kind of can't live on the surface. So, the solution to this would be if we drilled holes into the moon. And by holes, I mean caves, not actual holes that just lead straight down. That'd be kind of weird. And well, it would also solve for another big problem that's accompanied while living on the moon, which is it's tidally locked, so it's always facing the Earth. And well, while it does revolve around the Earth and days do change, they kind of last weeks at a time, which that can cause huge problems for people who want to sleep, for plants who need solar radiation in order to grow and develop and do photosynthesis. That's a weird word. Anyways, but yeah. So what are we gonna do? Well, while we're digging underneath the ground, we're gonna be setting up a whole bunch of lights. Now these lights are special. You wanna know why? They're solar lights. And solar lights are basically just regular lights, but instead of the light that they usually give off, they make energy that's similar to solar energy. Or, not energy, light? Solar light. Solar light, yeah, that's it. But yeah, so, breathable atmosphere, constant conditions. We can turn the lights on and off if we're underground. That's not a big deal. The only real problem that we'll have is power, which there is a quick, easy, and only slightly toxic condition that we can use. Condition? Not condition. Solution. That's what I meant. And that would be a nuclear reactor. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but isn't that very dangerous and very, very volatile? Well, it is, if you live next to one. However, if you build that far enough away, and then you go ahead and take a long cable, and just hook it up to your power sources and whatnot, then yeah, you should be okay. And well, just a quick list about what you'll need. You'll need, obviously, a botanist of some sort, so you can grow your plants and food and whatnot. You'll need a whole bunch of nuclear physicists. You'll need a lot of metal. You'll need to drill holes in the moon, which that's gonna take quite a while. In fact, this whole operation probably won't be up for at least 100 years, simply because it's not easy to colonize space, and this is really the best solution we have for the moon. But yeah, you also need some plants, obviously. Mainly, you want oxygen-producing and food production plants, so potatoes and trees, basically. And, well, other than that, you should be set. And, well, if you're looking for a more immediate solution, then I suggest that we move on to topic number 2, which would be